Lecture 8. The theme is formal and informal styles of speech. The plan of the lecture. Formal and informal styles of speech. English dialects in Great Britain. The dialects of the United States. Formal styles of speech. It is known that people in different situations of speech communication choose different kinds of words and structures to express their thoughts. The process of speech in each particular case can have a specific expressive means which depends on its stylistic characteristics or on the functional style it represents. The term functional style is determined as a system of expressive means peculiar to a specific sphere of communication. Functional style is classified into two groups, formal and informal styles of speech. Formal style is restricted to formal situations. In general, formal words fall into two main groups: words associated with professional communication and a group of learned words. Professional communication includes special words such as scientific, professional trade, court system, and other terminological words. Every field of modern activity has its specialized vocabulary: medical, legal, historical, special language of musicians, artists, linguists, and etc. Learned words are mainly associated with the printed page. It is a language of poetry and fiction literature. To learn words also belongs official, bureaucratic language and official letters and documents. Informal styles of speech. Informal style of speech is usually used in the circle of family, relatives, and friends. Informal style is relaxed, free and easy, familiar speech. It may be informal talk of well-educated people, considerably differs from the special language. Informal words and word groups are traditionally divided into three types: colloquial, slang, and dialect words. Colloquial words are used in everyday conversational speech both by cultivated and uneducated people of all age groups. The term colloquialism implies that the words called colloquial are limited by their sphere of usage and, if used in a wrong situation, may produce the impression of impoliteness or even rudeness. For example, in a student's composition, in a conversation with an official acquaintance, or with one higher in authority. For example, he is a jolly chap. The stylistically neutral way of putting it is he's a good or fine man. How are the kids? The stylistically neutral way. How are your children? I'm all right. The statistically neutral way. I feel quite well. I'm feeling down. The stylistically neutral way is I am depressed. Slang words are identified and distinguished by contrasting them to standard literary vocabulary. They are expressive, mostly ironical words, serving to create fresh names for some things that are frequent topics of conversation or discourse. Sometimes slang words sound vulgar, cynical, and harsh. For example, the various slang words for money, such as beans, brass, dips, chink, and etc. Slang synonyms for the word head are attic, nut, brain pan, and so on. Slang is used by persons of every grade of life. It changes with fashion and taste, and sometimes leaves permanent and recognized additions to language. Slang words which have been used in speech for certain period of time, people get accustomed to them and then accept it into literary vocabulary. For example, the following words: donkey, fun, shabby, snob, teenager, trip, guys, and etc. Slang can be subdivided according to the sphere of usage into general slang and special slang. General slang includes words that are not specific for any social or professional group. Special slang is peculiar for some groups: teenager slang, student slang, prisoners slang, sea slang, slang of the thieves and the vagrants, slang of professional gambler, and etc. Dialect words. A dialect is a variety of a language which prevails in a district with local peculiarities of vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar. Local lexical peculiarities are noticeable in specifically dialectal words presenting the local customs, social life, and neutral conditions. British linguists distinguish dialect from accent, which refers only to pronunciation. Thus, any educated English speaker can use the vocabulary and grammar of standard English. But different speakers use their own local words for everyday objects or actions, regional accent, or received pronunciation, which within the United Kingdom is considered an accent distinguished by class rather than by region. American linguists, however, include pronunciation differences as part of the definition of regional or social dialects. The combination of differences in pronunciation and the use of local words may make some English dialects almost unintelligible from one region to another. English dialects in Great Britain. In Great Britain, there are 5 main groups of dialects: Northern, Midland, Eastern, Western, and Southern. British English is the standard dialect of the English language as spoken and written in the United Kingdom. Variations exist in formal and written English in the United Kingdom. For example, the adjective "we" is almost exclusively used in parts of Scotland and North East England, Ireland, and occasionally Yorkshire, whereas little is predominant elsewhere. Nevertheless, there is a meaningful degree of uniformity in written English within the United Kingdom, and this could be described by the term British English. The forms of spoken English, however, vary considerably more than in most other areas of the world where English is spoken. So, a uniform concept of British English is more difficult to apply to the spoken language. According to Tom MacArthur in the Oxford Guide to World English, British English shares all the ambiguities and the tensions in the word British, and as a result can be used and interpreted in 2 ways: more broadly or more narrowly within a range of blurring and ambiguity. Colloquial portmanteau words for British English include Bringlish, recorded from 1967, Britglish 1973, Britlish 1976, Brenglish 1993, and Brillish 2011. Dialects and accents vary amongst the four countries of the United Kingdom as well as within the countries themselves. The major divisions are normally classified as English or English as spoken in England, which encompasses Southern English dialects, West Country dialects, and the East and West Midlands English dialects, and Northern English dialects. Ulster English in Northern Ireland, Welsh English not to be confused with the Welsh language, and the Scottish language not to be confused with the Scots language or Scottish Gaelic language. The various British dialects also differ in the words that they have borrowed from other languages. Around the middle of the 15th century, there were points where, within the five major dialects, where there were almost 500 ways to spell the word though. Following its last major survey of English dialects, from 1949 up to 1950, the University of Leeds has started work on a new project. In May 2007, the Arts and the Humanities Research Council awarded a grant to Leeds to study British regional dialects. So dialect peculiarities modify the national language spoken in different parts of country. Today the dialect is practically used to denote the old dialects which are now dying away, and to denote the regional variants, a literary standard with some feature of local dialects. The northern dialect closely resembles the southernmost Scottish dialects. It retains many old Scandinavian words, such as bairn for children, and not only keeps its r's but often rolls them. The most outstanding version is Geordie, the dialect of the Newcastle area. Er as so father fed has. Southern English engages in dropping, that is, ers that are not pronounced after vowels unless followed by another vowel. Instead, vowels are lengthened or have an off glide. One of the best known southern dialects is Cockney, the regional dialect of the working class of East End London. Initial h is dropped, so house becomes ours, or even as th, and dh becomes high and v respectively. Think, brother, brove. T between vowels becomes a glottal stop, water, war, and the diphthongs change, sometimes dramatically: time, brave, brave, and etc. Dialects of English spoken in Canada and the United States. So, American English varieties include many patterns of pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and particularly spelling that are unified nationwide but distinct from other English dialects around the world. Social scientists estimate the number of United States dialects range from a basic 3: New England, Southern, and Western or General America, to 24 or more of them. So, dialects of English spoken in Canada and the United States. What are they? So, the first, Standard Canadian English. The second, Western American English. Next, North Central American, that is Upper Midwest English. Inland Northern American, that is Great Lakes English and Midland American English. Southern American English, and Texan English, Inland Southern American English, and the Western Pennsylvania English, Mid-Atlantic American English, New York City English, Southwestern New English, England English, and the Southeastern New England English, Northwestern New England English, and the Northeastern New England English, and the Atlantic Canadian English. American English and British English often differ at the levels of phonology and phonetics, vocabulary, and to a much lesser extent grammar and orthography. The first large American dictionary, an American dictionary of the English language, known as Webster's Dictionary, was written by Noah Webster in 1828, codifying several of these spellings. Differences in grammar are relatively minor and do not normally affect mutual intelligibility. These include typically a lack of differentiation between adjectives and adverbs, employing the equivalent adjectives as adverbs be. So he ran quickly, he ran quickly. So different use of some auxiliary verbs, formal agreement with collective nouns, different preferences for the past forms of a new verbs. For example, American English, Britain English, that is learned, learned, learnt, burned, burnt, snuck, sneaked, dive, dived. Although the purportedly British forms can occasionally be seen in American English writing as well, different prepositions and adverbs in certain contexts, for example, American English in school, Britain English at school. So, and whether or not a definite article is used in very few cases, American English to the hospital, Britain English to hospital. So, and the contrast, however, American English actress Elizabeth Taylor, Britain English the actress Elizabeth Taylor. Often these differences are a matter of relative preferences rather than absolute rules, and most are not stable since the two varieties are constantly influencing each other. And American English is not a standardized set of dialects. Differences in orthography are also minor. The main differences are that American English usually uses spellings such as flavor for British flavor and the fiber for fiber, difference for defense. So analyze for analyze, and license for license, catalog for catalog, and traveling for traveling. So, and now Webster popularized such spelling in America, but he did not invent most of them. So now try to answer to the following questions. They are: the first, in what situations is the formal style of speech used? The second question, what are the main kinds of informal words? And the third question, what is the difference between standard English and dialect words?